welcome back to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and our World Cup update as we get to day 10, the 29th of November 2022. 4 games to talk about today. Of course, we're going to have a little bit of a sky blue complexion. Of course, there are City players involved on this day. So please join me as we look back at the 4 games. Plus, we'll have a look forward just in a moment to what's coming on the 30th of November, on the day after. So the game, match day 3 on the 30th of November. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. Great to have you on board. Of course, everything's City, past, present, forever. Plus little bonuses like this where there's a little team called England playing and various other teams playing around the world. There'll be a lot more in the next one, won't there? Is it 48 teams or something ridiculous like that? God help us, that's for sure. Please push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, and please spread the word. And if you get a chance, just press that little like button, the little thumbs up button. It makes an old City fan very, very happy. Right, let's talk about this game. Let's talk about the games. Let's talk about what's coming. And before we look at the results of the 4 games and what that means on the 29th of November, match day 3, we'll have a look at match day 3 on the 30th of November, see what's coming up first. So we've got Group D, 3 p.m. We've got Tunisia. There you can get 13-2 against for them to beat France. France are 1-2 on favourites. The draw is 10-3. Tunisia 4th with 1 point. France, of course, top with 6 points. This is at the Education City Stadium. We've also got Australia in Group D, 6-1 against to beat Denmark, who are 1-2 on with a draw at 16-5. Australia second at the moment with 3 points, so they're actually ahead of Denmark. They're third with 1 point. That's at the Al Janoub Stadium. I think the only chance for Tunisia is if already qualified France play a much weaker team. Will they? I think they could possibly do that. I've not been dead impressed with France, but yeah, it'd be interesting, that one. Australia may only need a point, of course, to get through, but Denmark may be capable of taking this and join France in the knockouts. My little prediction, yeah, I think Tunisia and France might be a draw, that one. France should win, but it could be a draw. And I think Denmark will win as well. So obviously Denmark and France will go through. If my predictions are right, I won't put any money on it, that's for sure. On to Group C on the 30th of November, which are the 7 p.m. kickoffs. You got Poland, who are 13-2 against chances to beat Argentina, who are 1-2 on. The draw is 16-5. Yes, Poland top the table on 4 points. Argentina are second on 3 points. This is at the 974 Stadium. Also, we've got at the same time, we've got Saudi Arabia, who are 19-5 against to beat Mexico, who are 4-6 on favourites. The draw is 3-1. Saudi sit third on 3 points. And of course, Mexico sits 4th on 1 point, struggling just a little bit. That's at the Lusail Stadium. Argentina, yeah, if they carry on the form of the last game, should get the better of Poland. Could be tight, but I think they should get the better of them to take the top spot. Saudi and Mexico may be a tough one to call. Mexico should be good enough if Saudi have sort of run out of steam, but yeah, they might just have a go, and you never know. They do look quite good in parts. So my little predictions anyway: Argentina to win. And a Mexico win, but obviously the machinations of goal difference, it might not be enough. It might not be enough to take them through. We'll have to see. Right, so let's get back to Tuesday the 29th of November. We've got 4 games. We'll talk about the games involving England and Wales and Iran and America in a moment. Of course, we'll talk first about the 3 p.m. kickoffs. We have the Group A, Ecuador, 11-8 favourites against Senegal, who were 9-4 favourites with 11-5 the draw. Tight game expected. Yeah, it was reasonably. Khalifa International Stadium. Ecuador sits second on 4 points. So draw will do them. Yeah, they'll be happy with that, and that's how they set up to play this. Senegal are third, 3 points. So obviously they had to go for the win, which is exactly how this game panned out. Senegal show the more urgency as they took the game to Ecuador, that's for sure. Although it nearly worked for Ecuador. They nearly got to half-time, but 42 minutes were punished for their lack of intent as a clumsy lunge in the area, and it's a penalty. There's no Mane to take the pens, so the guy who got fouled, Sarr, stepped up, and it's a deserved 1-0 lead at half-time. Ecuador are going to actually have to come out and do something for the second half if they want any chance of qualifying. 67 minutes, despite not really troubling MENDY, they didn't come out all guns blazing. Ecuador did get the equaliser. A corner is nodded on, and Caicedo puts it in. Because it's from Brighton, Caicedo. I thought it was offside, but then I noticed a guy on the post. But you don't often see, you don't see guys on the post anymore from corners, do you? But hey, he was there. He played him onside, of course, with the keeper. 70 minutes, yeah, only 2.5 minutes later, Senegal just went straight back up the other end, more or less, once you take into account the celebrations for the goal, etc. And are ahead again 2-1. A free kick is deflected at massive players back to Koulibaly, whose side foots home. And it's 2-1. And really, Ecuador, apart from a couple of Hail Marys, if you like, were unable to really trouble Senegal and Mendy in goal. And it stayed 2-1. Ecuador 1, Senegal 2. The XG philosophy, at XG philosophy, Ecuador 1.07, so more or less what it was, and Senegal 2.11. So it sort of worked out on that one, didn't it? So Senegal qualify in second, 1-2, lost 1, 5 goals, 4-4 against, and Ecuador finished third and bow out, 1-1, drawn 1, lost 1, 4 goals, 4 and 3 against. And over to the second game, which was played at exactly the same time, finished a little bit earlier. Netherlands 2-9 on to win this against Qatar, the 14-1 outsiders, with 11-2 the draw. This was at the Al Bayt Stadium. Netherlands, of course, first on 4 points, and Qatar fourth on 0 points. Only pride to play for, of course, City interest, because we had Mr. Nathan Ake starting for the Netherlands. Netherlands dominated, as you'd expect, the odd foray forward by Qatar, but it's that man again, Gakpo, isn't it, who's someone said to go to United, is he? Must be mad. He blasting a right-footed goal after 26 minutes to make it 1-0, and that's how it finished at half-time. Say, with the odd excursion from Qatar, odd bit of excitement for the fans that were there. But of course, 1-0 for the Netherlands at half-time. And very shortly into the second half, 49 minutes, it's 2-0 as De Jong reacts quickest to save, to a save. Yeah, Memphis Depay's shot was sort of saved from the keeper, not a bad save, but he reacted quickest to sort of just flick it in with the outside of his right boot from about 3 yards to make it 2-0. 52 minutes, a bit of a shame, yeah. A booking for Ake with a leading arm. I think I'm quite right, actually. I think he probably did deserve the booking for it. We'll talk about his game in a minute. He had a pretty good game, actually, for what pressure they were put under. Yeah, but it's such a shame he did that. Another goal on 68 minutes was rubbed out with a handball earlier in the phase of play. Quite rightly, yes. To me, it looks as though he moved his arm to it. So obviously the goal was rubbed out. Who needs Peter Walton, eh? When you've got me, of course. Yeah, absolutely spot on referee and VAR. Well done. But 2-0, the Dutch saw out the win. Qatar tried, but was simply not good enough. And let's just talk about Ake. Yeah, it did 1 or 2 nice little blocks, or 2 or 3 nice little blocks, certainly in the first half. And when Qatar did attack, and I think second half he just looked comfortable again. Even with Dick Van Dijk next to him, looked quite comfortable. I think the yellow card, it was a shame because it's just a slight little blemish on a good performance by Nathan Ake against, weak opposition, but you can only do what you can against what you're playing against, can't you? So that one, Netherlands 2, Qatar 0, XG philosophy at XG philosophy. Netherlands 1.77, so they performed a little bit better, and Qatar a pretty pathetic 0.18. So the Netherlands qualified top, 1-2, drawn 1. And 7 points, 5 goals scored and 1 against. And Qatar, sadly, at least they got a goal, didn't they? At least they got a goal in the competition. Lost all 3 games, 0 points, scored 1 and let in 7. So it could have been worse. It wasn't going to get much better for them, was it? So let's talk about the evening games, the 7 p.m. games. Let's go to the 7 p.m. kickoffs. Let's take a look at Iran and USA first. They will finish on England and Wales, of course. Iran were 3-1 to win this game. USA were evens favourites, and a draw was 9-4. This was the Al Thumama Stadium. Of course, Iran sat second on 3 points. So, unless Wales produced anything special, just needed a draw, didn't they? But that's probably the worst thing that could happen because obviously it made them sit back a little bit. And of course, USA were third with 2 points, so obviously had to go for the win. So more positivity from the USA. Iran, as we expected, were happy to sit back with just the odd foray into US territory, and US needed to get something. A few half chances, but obviously as Iran are thinking about getting through to half time on 38 minutes. Pulisic gets a goal and injures himself in the process. He did try to carry on, but he ended up in hospital, I think. He came off at half-time, and USA certainly missed him in the second half. Another goal was ruled out for offside as well, so they went in at 1-0. USA, all to play for. I thought we'd see a lively Iran in the second half, but it wasn't to be. They still were okay, but they didn't exactly go all guns blazing again. So in the second half, USA had reasonable control. Only one or two little scares as Iran got a little bit more desperate. But only they managed to play the game out to qualify, and they're quite happy, let's say. Iran 0, USA 1. The XG philosophy at XG philosophy. Iran 0.24. Yeah, it's probably higher than I thought it would be, and USA 1.35. So again, they need to put some more chances away, the USA. They're looking forward to the next game, which we'll talk about at the end. Iran go home, just won 1 and lost 2 with a -3 goal difference, and the USA finished second, of course, in the group, because I've not spoilt it, have I, with the England and Wales result? Yes, they finished second in the group, 1-1 and drawn 2 with a +1 goal difference. Right, on to the last game before we finish this edition of World Cup Update. And of course, a big blue seam running through this one, isn't it? Sky blue seam. Plenty. All 5 City players actually got on the pitch at some stage. It would have been nice to see them all together, but obviously, no, it wasn't to be. Wales were a 15-2 to win this. I thought that was a reasonable odds, actually, although I thought a draw was probably inevitable unless England actually did something spectacular or played Phil Foden, perhaps. England were 4-9 on to win this one. Ahmed Bin Ali Stadium, the draw was 16-5. The Ahmed Bin Ali Stadium, of course, Wales sat fourth. They did a minor miracle, didn't they, to actually qualify. And of course, England sat top, just on 4 points with a +4 goal difference. And it was the first time 2 British teams or UK teams had met in the World Cup final. So there's a good one. Walker, Stones and Foden started, of course. And it was all England the first half. A good chance for Rashford after 10 minutes, put through by Kane, but rather than put it round the keeper, he sort of aimed it at him. And this time it didn't go through his legs like it would do later on, but we'll talk about that. Yeah, so that got blocked. A bit unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, Rashford and Foden, who came out of this all with praise, I'd certainly had chances to put England ahead in that first half. Foden was well wide from distance after a nice little turn in the box on 15 minutes. A good move again on 38 minutes, but again, Foden was well over. On 39 minutes, a spectacular bicycle kick by Rashford, but that was over and wide. And it was the 50th minute, 5 minutes of injury time before Wales had a shot with Allen hitting it well wide. 0-0. We sort of about the red wall in the stand. We couldn't. Well, it's more like a red little retaining wall, wasn't it? It wasn't a very big red wall, was it? But we couldn't get past the red wall on the pitch, unfortunately, because they showed no ambition at all, Wales. Thankfully, early in the second half, 49 minutes. Foden wins a free kick by taking players on. That's what we like to see. And Marcus Rashford, they blame the goalie a little bit. It was a cracking free kick. Perhaps the goalie was a little bit out of position, but great free kick. It's 1-0 to England from Marcus Rashford. 51 minutes, it's all good. All well and good as Harry Kane cross and Foden just whips in at the back post to make it 2-0. 55 minutes, Wales go close. I mean, they had a bit of play then, Wales. Once we went 2-0 down, they had a little bit of a go. Why they couldn't have tried to do that originally, I'm not too sure, apart from not wanting to get stuff 4, 5, 6-0 or something. And they weren't close when the ball went wide of the post. And then Pickford saves a big deflected shot that came off Maguire as well. But 57 minutes, Walker went off and Kane went off and Rice went off. All for rest. Obviously, Walker's first game back since the derby, wasn't it? The derby for us. Phillips came on, Wilson and Trent Alexander-Arnold came on. Nice to see Mr. Phillips getting some time. 65 minutes, Shaw went off and Trippier came on. 68 minutes, yes. Rashford had his second, and this time it sort of went through the keeper's legs. He probably saw it very, very late. Rashford did very well to get in a position to smash it goalward. So I'm not going to put a lot of blame on the keeper. And it came from a long ball, yes, an assist by Phillips. So well done, mate. Well done. All, as I said in the thing, it was Manchester, England 3, Welsh, Wales 0. So, yeah, a great ball by Phillips. So, I'll be happy with that as well. 75 minutes, Rashford off, Grealish on. 91 minutes, Stones. Stones nearly, he should have scored. He was 6 yards out and it fell for, I think it was a corner. It bounced around a little bit. It fell to Stones and he hit it, smashed it over the bar from 6 yards. Oh, John, he does score goals, but not usually with his feet. But he could have done better with that. And 94 minutes again, there was a bit of a scramble, and Grealish had a shot that was blocked, and then Foden nearly had a goal as well. It would have been nice for him to get a second, but it wasn't to be. We had to be happy with 3-0. And the player ratings for the City players, yes, Liam Wood did some for the Manchester Evening News, so I'll read you what he thought, and then I'll put my little two-penny with him. Liam said, Kyle Walker returned to the side following a pre-World Cup injury scare and kept tabs on speeds to Dan James with no real problems, defensively or fitness-wise, which is a bonus. He gave him 6 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. I thought he was excellent. Admittedly, on the rare, he was only tested rarely, but I thought it was excellent, considering it's his first game back for like 3 months, about 3 years. No, 3 months. I thought he played very well. So I'll give him a 6.5 out of 10. Liam only gave him a 6, the miser. John Stones, Liam said, dealt with Keith for more and his colleagues comfortably throughout the Group B Derby meeting. Derby, I suppose. Was able to set the tone in playing out from the back. Give him a 7. Yeah, he would be on an 8 or 9 if he'd scored that goal, which was disappointing. But apart from that, I don't remember him really putting a foot wrong. All right, again, with the constraints of the Welsh pressure. But no, I thought, for me, I was going to get a 7 out of 10 as well. I'm going to agree with Liam on that one. Phil Foden, Liam said, finally handed his World Cup opportunity, showed glimpses of his immense talent and burst into life with a quick 5 second upon the restart. So he's given him an 8 out of 10. He could have had a couple. He might have even had an hat-trick on another day. But, obviously a disappointing first half. And I'm sure he would have wanted to hit the target with 1 or 2 shots. But at least he added some intent to England, and it paid off in the second half, certainly, as Wales struggled to keep the pressure on. And yes, I'm going to equal Liam's score of 8 out of 10. I thought that was about right for Phil Foden. Calvin Phillips, he came on for Rice on 57 minutes. Liam said, showed his passing range upon his return from injury and bagged himself an assist. He's given him a 7 out of 10. I'm going to totally agree with that. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. A great assist. Just a big long ball. I mean, he's a City player. That's what we do. It's great. Just great to see him on the pitch and getting some minutes for England. That's fantastic. So it don't do his mental health any harm, will it? That's for sure. Calvin Phillips, 7 out of 10 from me and Liam. And Jack Grealish, only on 75th minute, he came on for Rashford. Liam said, wanted to link up with Bellingham during his cameo. Give him a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. I thought he was very good. He almost snuck a goal in at the end. And I thought he looked lively and happy. He had a lot of fun. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. I'll be a bit mean there, Liam. So it ended, of course, Wales 0, England 3, and the XG philosophy, or the XG at XG philosophy, thanks to them, Wales 0.32, a bit higher than I thought, and England 2.33, so we were better than we should have been as well, so probably because of that free kick, I suppose, I'm not too sure, but there you go, and obviously the second goal, he had a massive players in front of him, Rashford, so it probably wasn't very high on the XG rating, was it? Right, so England win the group with 7 points, 1-2, drawn 1 with the +7 goal difference. Wales finished bottom, just the 1 point, -5, drawn 1, lost 2, and they go back to the valleys. Well, perhaps 1 or 2 of them might. All the rest will go back to the big houses wherever they live. But there you go. So the round of 16, we got our first 2 matchups after yesterday. 3 p.m. Saturday, the 3rd of December 2022. We'll do a preview of that just the day before. Netherlands versus the USA at the Khalifa Stadium. And as important to us, or more important to us, on the Sunday, the 4th of December, 7 p.m. kickoff, Senegal, I think we played them in the World Cup before, haven't we? Versus England, 7 p.m. kickoff at the Al Bayt Stadium. So I'll do a preview of that the day before as well. So join me next as we look back to the next round of match day 3s, which are being played on the 30th of November. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again, leave us your comments, anything. Who do you think will win the World Cup? Let me know. Until we meet again, that's something, don't. Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.